This is what the chambers look like. Holy crap.
Hey Best Pally, I'm Allie, and I'm about to find out if a hyperbaric oxygen chamber makes you superhuman! I'm gonna be doing a ton of treatments, dives. They're called dives, that's the cool lingo. 10 dives over the next 7 days. Unless I chicken out. Which I won't, probably, because I very much want to show you, and this will definitely help us find out what hyperbaric oxygen does to your body. I'm doing this at a facility that's like an hour and 40 minutes away from me, so this does not feel super. But this will give me plenty of time throughout this video and experience to explain to you what hyperbaric oxygen is, what it's supposed to do to your body, and what the heck I actually feel it does. Almost there. If you don't believe me, this was a forever drive. Look, it's dark out now. I was under pressure, trapped in a small car in traffic, to be under pressure, trapped in a small chamber in oxygen. You always know it's gonna be good if you got a sign of weight. Here's some, but not all of the awful stuff that could happen. Oh geez. And yeah, I guess I want life support if they accidentally almost kill me. I am getting the rundown from Hugo. Hi, thanks. He's busy. Hello.
This is what the chambers look like. Holy crap.
Alright, sweet. I'm trying to find a spot to do. This is it. You're gonna watch me from this lovely little capsule area. This is what it's like inside. Very cool. Can't wait to just hang out in here for entirely too long. This is my view for the whole session. Great. Emerging from the depths. We survived the dive. How do I feel? Oxygenated? I'm not sure yet. I need to think. Just committed to all 10 of them for sure. By the way, I'm paying for this out of pocket. We'll get to why I'm actually doing this, besides the fact that I enjoy this biohacking. Yeah, I do have like a medical issue problem that I'm doing this for as well, so I will discuss that at some point. Refueling my car after refueling my blood. So how did it actually feel for the first time going into one of those? Pretty unremarkable. My ears popped for about 5 minutes while they were pressurizing it, and then it was just nothing, silence. So I could hear the oxygen going into my nose thing. And then I sat there for an hour, and my ears popped a bunch as they brought the pressure back down, and that was it. And I don't feel any different right now. I've heard it's between 7 and 10 times before you actually start feeling changes. It did get a little warm whenever they were pressurizing, and then like cold whenever they depressurized, but other than that, I was just sitting there for an hour. I actually brainstormed a bunch of YouTube videos. That's what I was writing the whole time, because you can't do anything on your computer or your phone because no electronics in there. They could combust with the oxygen. So this was very much an exercise in unplugging for a whole hour. It was also an exercise for my thumb because they kept checking in on me in the little porthole to make sure everything was fine, and then you had to give thumbs up, and yeah, it was great. They were very attentive. Okay, I'm gonna try to explain to you what the chamber does. Although I would love to get Hugo on camera to tell you about it, but we'll see. I mean, I'm gonna be there so often, we're probably gonna be bros by the end of the week. But basically, I was breathing pure oxygen, so 100%, whereas like in this normal air, it's about 21%. And then they increase the pressure so that there's even more oxygen per square inch, and basically squeezing oxygen into me. So your blood oxygen level gets to hundreds of times more than usual, which at the time felt like nothing. Like it felt the same. And even though I couldn't feel it, it was promoting cell growth and reducing inflammation, and what else? This is why Hugo should do it. I have it written down. Made new blood vessels, repaired tissue, and like heals wounds. And this is biohacky awesome because supposedly all of those things improve physical and mental performance and increase stem cell production and like stops the aging process. Do I look 1 hour in a hyperbaric chamber younger? It has also been touted to improve sex. So, anybody wants to join my bunk bed? I guess I'm good at it now. And I am hitting my bunk bed right now because I've got double sessions every day, back to back for a while now. So, gotta get up early. Good thing I am full of oxygen. Oh, and there's also more that it supposedly does. I will tell you about all of that as I continue to test and experiment throughout the week. Good morning. Okay, back to sciencing. Hyperbaric could be bad for you if you do too much of it, so that's why I'm up super early today, because I've got 2 treatments. They have to be spaced at least 4 hours apart, or I could risk oxygen toxicity. For each dive, I want to do a different experiment. And this is decaf, because this experiment is going to be me sleeping inside of a hyperbaric chamber. I want to see how that feels. For my first dive, I wanted to experiment with my brain and creativity, which is why I forced myself to just sit with a notebook and brainstorm ideas the whole time. And I got a bunch of them out. Like, I would surprise myself with how much I was writing. Probably because I never write. Who uses paper and a pencil and like it's like a dead tree? Why don't I have a phone for that? Were all those ideas more and better? I don't know. It's kind of hard to tell. But I will say, right before they were going to pull me out, I was thinking to myself, I must have been doing this for like 30 minutes, and it was a whole hour, so that says something that think you time went by really quickly. It's nappy time. I'm gonna see if I can sleep, if I sleep better, and maybe if I dream. I don't know, we're gonna find out. Snooze under pressure. Whoa, that went by very quickly. I feel like kind of good. Like I have a general sense of well-being, some sort of lift, which is not what I would expect considering I had decaf. Still getting coffee though. I mean, not having it this morning was torture. The things I do for you, Pallies. So how did sleeping feel? Well, I definitely dreamed. Like, I felt like I wasn't sleeping, but I knew I was because it went by like that. So it was my mind running for an hour, but it felt like 5 minutes. To the point where I was like, wait, did they bring me up early? Are they stiffing me? But they did not. I checked. And I didn't sleep the first 5 minutes or the last 5 minutes because that's when they're adding pressure and taking it away. And basically, it's impossible to be unconscious because your ears are popping like every 10 seconds. I'm doing 4 hours of work at this Starbucks because if I drove home as soon as I got there, it would be time to immediately turn around and come to my next appointment. For my third dive, I'm going to test my flexibility. I want to know if getting squeezed full of oxygen makes you more stretchy. Now, I stretch every day, so I know my baseline flexibility, but let's give you an idea. Split should be a good indicator. I got almost a full split on my right side. It's decent. And then the left side is slightly crappier. Okay, now you know, let's go do some super breathing. 3 down. How many atmospheres of pressure do you put in there?
Oh, how many did we put today?
Yeah.
For this one, we put 2.5.
Okay, so it changes every time.
It depends on the progression of your treatment, but
Okay. So
right now we're at 2.5.
Cool. 2.5 times the earth pushing down on me. So did it help with flexibility and some gymnastics in a parking lot? Okay. Yeah. Can't say stretching splits is any different. Although I do feel like I'm way less sore than I should be. I deadlifted a couple days ago and I'm not feeling it usually like I would. Ooh, this is foreshadowing because I'm gonna test that coming up. Feeling a bit tired now. I actually did a sleeping experiment again after my stretching experiment, and it was the same thing. A very quick sleep that felt like I wasn't sleeping at all. The reason I think I haven't seen much change in the test I've done so far is because hyperbaric oxygen is actually about recovery and fixing damage versus making yourself better beforehand. So it basically helps with bouncing back like LeBron James's basketball. Yes, LeBron has put this in the news because he has his own hyperbaric chamber and he uses it to recover after work. Which is why I'm pumped. Ha! For tomorrow because I'm diving after a brutal leg workout. I want to see if it'll make me less sore. And this tissue damage recovery thing leads me to what I hinted at before, why I'm actually doing this treatment. And it's not covered by my insurance, so I'm paying $1,000 for it. It's not because I just want to screw around on a YouTube video for you. I was hesitant to even talk about this. I never discuss my struggle. It's always just like achievements and goals and cool stuff that I've made, not roadblocks. But I feel like it's important that I talk about this only because if someone else has dealt with it and then my video helps, cool. Anyway, I'm wearing my internet superhero shirt that my mom got me, so I'm trying to be more brave about discussing this. Basically, about 2 months ago, my left ear stopped working as well as it should. My hearing decreased and it felt like it was plugged and I heard ringing and hissing. And I was like, that sucks. And then 3 days later, it was not gone. So I went and saw a hearing specialist, and they said I have, and I gotta look it up, sudden sensorineural hearing loss. As a musician, is terrifying. I just want to say, I have a script written about how you should take care of your hearing. I always have earplugs with me, to the point where people are like, why are you plugging your ears at this bar? That's socially embarrassing. And I'm like, I don't care. Your ears are on you forever and you need to take care of them. And I've been absolutely super, super careful my entire life. And this just came out of nowhere. There's no reason for it. I'm the one that cared so much about my hearing and but there's hope. So long story short, over the past 2 months, I've been taking a bunch of hearing tests. I did 2 weeks of oral steroids, which did absolutely nothing except making the rest of my body feel awful. And then I got an intertympanic injection, which is a needle straight up into your ear. And it helped a decent amount. The decibel loss that you could see on my hearing test graph had moved up. It wasn't back, to healthy, but holy crap, that was insane, that I was so stoked. And so I got a second one, and it moved up like slightly more, but not as much as last time. And so then like my last ditch effort now, because you can only do a third tympanic injection and then that's it, is to get another one tomorrow and do it in tandem with this hyperbaric oxygen, because this is supposedly shown to help with sudden sensorineural hearing loss. And now I've been standing here rambling about this for quite a while now. Thank you for still watching. I'm uncomfortable making this video because I don't know if it's gonna wrap up in a completely positive way. I mean, I don't know if it's gonna be a good story. It could just be, oh, we did all that and nothing happened. Okay. About that steroid shot, I'm up at 6 a.m. to go get stabbed in the ear. I'm not gonna show you the actual injection. I can tell this story without grossing you out, so don't worry. I will show you the device that's going to pierce my eardrum. Oh, great. Thanks. Done. And now I gotta lay on my side for like 10 minutes and let the steroids seep into my brain. I mean, not really that, but it feels like. Now it's time to go dive while I'm full of the steroids. I still want to do an experiment for this one, and it's one that I'm super excited about. Does being hyper-oxygenated make you good at specifically push-ups? Like, will my muscles work better when they're pumped full of what feeds them? The reason I'm excited about this is because I've heard of a different method of super-oxygenating your blood from a guy named Wim Hoff, where he just hyperventilates, and supposedly push-ups become just like way easy and you bang them out way more than you ever could. First we gotta see what my current push-up limit is, which I don't think is gonna be a lot, because surprisingly I got my first push-up ever this year. Okay, let's stop in there. My form was breaking. 20 seems like a nice round number. Okay, let's go smash that with oxygen. Taking my vitals, I do this every time. I'm guessing my heart rate will be up because I just did 20 push-ups in a row. This is bull crap. I got 19 push-ups out. I could have pushed it to like 20 or 21, but it was very clear that it just felt the same as out here. And also, look at this. You get a mask line. This is dumb, and I'm surprised because people that do the Wim Hof method talk about how their body feels just like super light, and they pound out like twice as many push-ups. That was not me. So maybe I gotta try Wim's method because he's cooler. And if you're wondering about my ear, it won't be for another couple of days if I'll know if there's any improvement. It takes a while, but I do, hear differently. Like I can tell that there's liquid in there, and whenever my ears were popping, it's like crinkly sounding. But yeah, that's about it. I got some video editing done at my Starbucks office, and now I'm gonna go lift heavy because I want to try using hyperbaric the way Lebron James does. Since hyperbaric is best for wound healing, this is basically wounding myself, right? I'm making little tears in my muscles during this workout, and so when I put oxygen back in them, hopefully that will make them heal. And my buddy Hugo at the facility was explaining to me that when you work out, you deplete your muscles of oxygen, so then it ends up being CO2 in there, and that's what causes lactic acid, which is like the hurty stuff. That's why you're sore. So hyperbaric oxygen should be good at making me not sore. We're gonna find out. I found a local meathead gym so I could do some Olympic lifting. Cool. Workout executed. I am sufficiently tired, but not sore yet. Anyway, it's time to go sit in that chamber and see if it stops the soreness. No PRs today. I didn't feel like super great, and it's probably because I've heard when you come out of the chamber, you're a little bit like zapped of energy because your body's metabolizing the oxygen, and that's just what happens. I'm gonna sneak in a second experiment for this dive because I would be recovering otherwise, so I'd just be sitting there. So now I'm gonna sit there mindfully. I'm interested in trying this in the chamber because of my weird experience with sleeping in there. And I actually slept again in this last dive after I did my push-ups. And it was again like a weird, very short, dazed, not sleeping, but I definitely was sleeping.
Turn right after 7-Eleven.
Okay, phone, I get it.
West Cerritos Avenue.
Sorry, I'm recording from my phone. Did you notice that it said turn right after 7-Eleven? Did 7-Eleven pay for that? Like Google Maps getting ads into your brain this way?
In a quarter mile.
Hey, what a great illustration of my brain racing. Anyway, I'm terrible at meditating, and maybe hyperbaric oxygen will fix it. Hugo's giving me more inside info, and I've convinced him to get on camera.
All of our organs utilize oxygen as a fuel source. This is a great supplementation. Brain uses the most amount of oxygen compared to any other organ in your body just to function. Nonetheless, try to recover from anything, or if you're trying to increase your cognitive performance to learn a new skill or theory if you're in school or anything like that.
Sweet. So Hugo's making me
The
smarter.
more awareness you have of it, the more you can do for yourself to empower your life.
Thank you so much, Hugo. So how did it go with meditation? Well, that's the first time I've ever meditated for a full hour, and it felt like, well, exactly a full hour. At least it didn't feel like longer. But it wasn't like what I thought it would be with the sleeping, where I was conscious but time just disappeared. It was like, okay, I'm gonna sit here and keep trying to focus on nothing and breathe oxygen. So I don't know if it made me any better at meditation. And also, I know that saying you suck at meditation is anti-meditation. All right, sorry I'm too goal-directed for mindfulness. But we shall see over the next couple of days if I'm less sore, if the recovery thing worked. It was interesting what Hugo's been saying. I guess it feels more like this is a long-term thing. You gotta get like 10 sessions in before you see a difference. It's not this quick change that I'm looking for in each short session. So stay tuned to this video because it's gonna take some more time to figure out. It's not a quick, instant answer. It's like working out. You gotta do it for a while and then you gotta stay on it to see the result, I think. We'll find out. For my 6th dive, it's getting pretty lonely in there, so I'm gonna bring a friend. Just making a new buddy. He's gonna have a great time in there. Let's go hang out in the hyperbaric chamber, huh? All right, we're here. What? No, don't be nervous. It's not a big deal. It's not even like you have ears so they can't pop. Oh, sorry, you hate that word. Is it cool if I bring my friend in the chamber today?
Absolutely.
Hooray!
Your friend's gonna change size.
What? Don't listen to him. You're gonna be fine. Just come inside and hang out with me. Okay, I'm sorry. How was I supposed to know it would crush you?
Your friend's gonna
Hooray!
change size.
Never smashes my head. I was actually interested to see how small the balloon would get. What? Yep. Yeah, maybe I knew. Which I kind of talked about this, but I really want to tell you about what it feels like in there. And it's nothing. There's a kid next to me crying. Did you just get your head crushed or something? You okay? Anyway, what I was saying is you do feel it when they're adding pressure. Your ears pop a ton, and I know this because I counted. It was every 5 seconds. But that's just the first 5 minutes. And then the last 5 minutes, when they're taking pressure out, your ears pop a ton again. But like the pressure's going in the other direction, busting out of your brain. Except that it gets warm when they're adding pressure and cold when they take it away. And they told me at the facility this is because when you put more air in, there's like more energy in a small amount of space, and energy is heat. And when they take it away, it's like a 10-degree difference, and it gets down to, I think, 65, he said, but that's not that cold, except that like in that small amount of time, the difference feels cold. I mean, I got goosebumps every time. Did you get goosebumps? Were you chilly? Oh, okay, you're still mad at me. I'm sorry. Back in my remote office getting some work done. For my 7th dive experiment, I want to find out if I can hold my breath longer when I'm hyper-oxygenated. So I guess I need to get a baseline. I will be holding my breath here in my car in front of the Starbucks. There's a guy sitting outside watching me talk to myself, so it's on you, buddy, to make sure I don't pass out in here. You can't take in any sort of electronics because of the oxygen. It's a fire hazard, so I can't like wear a watch or use a stopwatch on my phone. So I guess I just gotta count and hope I'm kind of the same here as I am in the chamber. I don't know, maybe being hyper-oxygenated makes you count really quickly. Jeez, this is crap, I've ruined my control. But no, I figure it doesn't matter because if they're barely different, then like who cares? But if it's like an extreme difference, then I'll definitely notice, so. Okay, time to test myself. Okay, 60 seconds, exactly, which also makes me think that I probably have way more control over that than I am pretending. You know, if you say the number of sets you're gonna lift, then you get to it. I was feeling a little, I'll just go to when I feel that way in the chamber too. I mean, if it's super easy, I'll know it, so we'll find out. Wait, whoa. The test I did on that dive was crazy. Easily held my breath 50% longer. I probably could have gone even further, and I was like getting freaked out, like, what? Maybe I'll just breathe now. That surprises me because my push-up test showed no results. I was thinking that this wouldn't work because the reason that we gasp for air is the buildup of CO2 in our body, not necessarily the lack of oxygen. But then my friend, the technician in there, was saying, yeah, when you hyperoxygenate, it actually stops you from having so much CO2 in your body, so your autonomic nervous system doesn't take over. So yes, Test number 7 has proven for holding your breath, hyperbaric oxygen chambers make you superhuman. Very crazy how different it was. Like, when I held my breath in the chamber, I was like, this is easy. Maybe I'm not remembering how easy it was at Starbucks. And then I just did it again, and I was like, nope, not easy anymore. It's so cool. I really did get a taste, a little 90 seconds of what it's like to be superhuman. What are you doing hiding down there, buddy? I just realized that these carry static electricity, so this could have, like, ignited the oxygen. You could have murdered me. I don't know why they let you in there. I do want to talk about the fact that I think hyperbaric oxygen has a huge difference on healing, like, physical wounds. And I know this because I had 2 other injections before this one that I just got. And on the second day, popping my ears was, like, piercingly painful. Every time it happened by accident, I'd be like, oh, I'd stop in my tracks and just, like, shudder. And that was not happening at all today. I was so nervous, and no, nothing. I'm pretty positive that going into the chamber right after the injection is what caused that puncture to superhuman heal. I should have been in a lot of pain today. If we think about every 5 seconds for 5 minutes, my ears pop, that's 12 times a minute, and that 5-minute period in the beginning, that's 60 times, and then the 5-minute period at the end, that makes it 120 times that I should have been like, shudder, ow! And it didn't happen. Also, that just made me realize that over the course of this entire hyperbaric chamber treatment, my ears will pop 1,200 times. Wow, okay, well, drum workout. Anyway, I do think I'm less sore. Like when I do Olympic lifting like that, my shoulders, my traps get really, really sore, like I can't even touch them. And look, I'm touching them right now. I usually have DOMS, delayed onset muscle soreness, in case you didn't know, for the day after and the day after that, and possibly the 3rd day after. I suck at recovery. I'm about as good at recovery as I am at meditating. Working on improving that with my body, and well, I guess maybe hyperbaric oxygen is something that I need, like, after my workouts. I don't know, but we'll see tomorrow, because the second day is usually the worst. And maybe it won't be this time. Ha! And now to get drunk for science! Yeah, of course I'm gonna find out for you if hyperbaric oxygen gets rid of hangovers. Let's do this. Obviously I called an Uber because you should always science responsibly. This happens to be that my improv theater has a holiday party tonight, so I'm lucky. I love when science lines up. It's noisy in here. It's not like a loud club, it's just a bar, but I've still brought earplugs, and I'm gonna show you my trick. It looks like this is cough drop, but I have earplugs in here, and I just use that to travel around with them. Cheers! In case you were concerned, I made it to the end of the night, and I'm very drunk. Oh no, I think I did too good of a job. I already feel like crap, and I gotta get up in 4 hours. Oh, this is great. Okay, I do not feel good, but I'm not hungover yet because let's just check this out. You know what this is? A blood alcohol thingy. I feel like crap, but I'm not hungover yet. Because actually, there's still alcohol in my system. I'm fine to drive, but this is gonna be perfect because I'm just gonna stop the hangover before it starts, if this works. The things I do for you, Pally. I'm gonna bring another friend into the chamber with me this time. I'm just hoping I don't have to worry about getting my mask off fast enough. It's fine. I'll be fine. I'm just gonna sleep. My head does not feel great, and I'm pretty sure it's gonna get worse throughout the day unless superhuman miracle breathing. Let's find out. All right, I didn't feel like nauseous or awful during that, which I thought might happen, so that's good. How do I feel right now? A little dizzy, but that might be from the alcohol. Just kind of like off. I don't know if that was the dive or the drinking before. But I don't want to die. You know, the hangover feeling, like I just want to die. I think I'm better than I would be. Like, refreshed-ish. I shouldn't feel this good after what I did last night. And one of the big things that I use to keep a hangover at bay is sleeping a ton. And I didn't. I got 4 hours and then another 1 hour in the chamber. And so I should definitely feel like crap right now. And I don't. I feel like not crap. I think it worked. Let's just do another test. I have a feeling it's not going to have lowered my BAC. Because I've heard there's nothing you can do to lower your BAC. Caffeine, water, none of it does that to help. It's only time. 0.008. So like 0.01 we'll say. So it moved down, but that's like, I think the standard over time. This wouldn't have like made me less drunk. But that was a surprising revelation for me whenever I learned that only time will lower your blood alcohol content. People are like, oh, I'll just have some coffee or I'll eat something to sober up, but nothing will do it but waiting. And not oxygen either. Oh yeah, and I didn't have coffee this morning because I didn't want that to be another variable. See, I am doing a controlled study. I'm a great scientist. But anyway, 4 hours of sleep and no coffee, I should definitely feel way worse. Ha, and I don't. But one weird thing that happened to this dive is that my tooth started hurting. Come on. There we go. Pain right here, and then it started getting stronger, like sharp into my sinuses. Okay, and then I realized, you know, whenever you drink, you kind of get phlegmy sometimes. My sinuses were plugged and I didn't know it. And so then this pressure's building and like hurting, and I'm like, crap, I signed a thing that said barotrauma is a part of this, possibly, which means that like the pressure, the air inside my sinus might just like explode out of my face, and I'm freaking out because like, I'm supposed to be busy worrying about my hangover, not my face exploding. But then I heard like, and air release, and it was fine. And then repeat that traumatic experience when I came back up from the dive. It's been about 3.5 hours and I'm feeling pretty crappy again. A little bit of degrading going on. It's a shame that I don't have 2 appointments today, because it would have been nice to go back in right now and see how it helped. Or actually feeling this bleh and being trapped in that tube might not be nice. Came to sweat the rest of it out. And how's my muscle soreness on day 2? Better than it usually is. For real. I'm usually absolutely wrecked in my legs and shoulders. And right now, feeling pretty good. I had 2 days off from Hyperbarics because it was a weekend, and so I was shooting YouTube video and I was in a stand-up show. So if you're wondering if hyperbaric oxygen makes you funnier, it does not. I was equally as hilarious. Right now I'm getting pretty down. It's been 8 treatments and I should around now start seeing some changes. Like if I was gonna get better, I think it would have been like 2 days after that injection, and there was no difference. I almost want to say that it's worse, but it's probably just like exactly the same. So I don't know. I have 2 more treatments tomorrow in the same day, and I guess I'll just ride this out and hope for the best. But yeah, I'm losing hope. 2 dives left, which means 2 experiments. And for the first one today, I want to know what hyperbaric oxygen does to your voice, because I think this has to do with the weight of the air. So our regular air has a molar mass of 28.8, and if you breathe helium, that's at 4, so you have a really high voice there. Now pure oxygen is a molar mass of 32, so it shouldn't be a big difference because it's just a little heavier. I should probably have a little bit lower voice, but I don't know about the fact that it's compressed. Like, I have no idea what it's gonna do, and I can't find anything Googling about it, so I wanna find out. I've been doing vocal warm-ups on my long drive, and I will be taking my non-electronic keyboard into the chamber with me. This is awesome! I found this on the side of the road, and I was like, oh, this is cool, I don't know what I'll do with it. I'll think of something. This is exactly what I need it for! Okay, the lowest I can go right now is a B. Let's see if I can beat that. I can also try going as high as I can. There's my limit. Let's do some experimenting. Well, Hugo wasn't there that early, and the tech didn't know if it was safe, so I couldn't take my keyboard. I even brought this as a backup, but it's a no-go. But I still sang in there, which is weird because I know that they could hear me. But I didn't notice any big difference. If there was a small difference, I wouldn't have noticed because I didn't have my keys to, test exactly. But the tech did know a little more about compressed air than I did. He was saying that helium moves faster, so that's why your voice is higher when it's vibrating your vocal cords. But compressed air does not move any faster, so there wouldn't be any change, and that checks out. I said goodbye to my remote office Starbucks for the last time, and now it's time for my final dive and experiment. I'm gonna answer a question that I'm sure you all have been wondering this entire time. Can narwhals survive in a hyperbaric oxygen chamber? We all want to know! This is important for science. Are narwhals allowed to dive?
Yes, they are.
Okay, great, thanks. Oh yeah, survived. I thought maybe the narwhal wasn't gonna make it because it was getting a little hot. It would have to disappear so I could take my human pants off. But no, made it through. Bye, Hugo, thank you. I'm so sorry that Allie couldn't be here for the last dive, but I appreciate you not being speciesist. So now to talk about the serious stuff, that was 10 dives and I'm not hearing a difference with my ear. I don't know if it was because I waited too long after the onset of my condition to do this treatment, or it's just not right for my body. I don't know. But I'm gonna do a hearing test just to see if like there's any difference like undetectable to me, and to just like, you know, show you guys like visually on the chart how it changed from the first time I started hearing weirdness to after all of the injections and until now. I'm headed to my hearing test. It's been 3 weeks since my last hyperbaric treatment. That's only because I couldn't get this scheduled until now. Like I said, I don't think there's a difference, but it'll be good to test this out and just get some numbers and charts to see, really based on science. And also, it's 50 degrees out and I'm biking there in the rain because I started doing cold exposure for other Fitness Outrageous videos. So subscribe and ring the bell because there's a lot more outrageous fitness stuff coming soon. The audiologist was not comfortable with me filming, so I couldn't show you any of the hearing tests, sorry. But she's gonna email me all of the data. I'll show you the graphs whenever I get them. Okay, I got my test results back, so take a look. Here is the first test, and you can see my right and my left don't match, and that's the sucky part. That's where I have decreased hearing in my left side, which causes tinnitus and hissing. Like, I can still hear it right now. And, I mean, look at that graph. It's not that bad, right? It could be way worse, and I'm super grateful of that. And, I mean, I still just wanted to do everything I could to try and correct it. So that's why I did the hyperbaric treatment. And then here's the test I took yesterday, and you can see that it is pretty much exactly the same. So I didn't have any sort of improvement through the 10 treatments of hyperbaric oxygen. Now, this is like a very personal thing, and it's case-by-case basis. That doesn't mean that other people might not see benefits from it, but I did want to give, you know, my honest recount of what happened with me. I don't want this to discourage anyone from trying it. I'm still grateful that I did it, and like happy that I exhausted all possibilities on fixing this, because now I won't have any regrets in the future when I'm like 60 and be like, oh, I should have tried something else. Nope, there's nothing else to try. I did it all. And how I feel about hyperbaric oxygen as a whole, I didn't see a big change in like stretching or those push-ups that I did, or even like muscle recovery. It wasn't like, whoa, this is crazy, switch, completely different. So I don't think I'm gonna go all Michael Jackson on you and get one to hang out in my apartment. By the way, I should have mentioned that back when I did the singing test, but everyone knows that like he had his own, and they said he slept in it, but I mean, that's not possible because he would have gotten oxygen toxicity. I don't think he did it overnight, but he probably just took naps in it. So to answer the question in the title of this video, does hyperbaric oxygen make you superhuman? I'm gonna say no. But that's only because I'm looking for like a big change in a short amount of time. Like I said, this is more like working out, and if I could be like LeBron James and go into one after every workout, I might be able to see a difference. But in terms of just doing 10 treatments, I don't feel that superhuman. Where's my cape? Aha! Here we go. So if you're looking to biohack your way to superhuman, I would say invest in a cape before doing hyperbaric oxygen, because it's not a big change. And by the way, I did not invest in a cape because this is a free blanket from an airline. Thanks for watching. I appreciate you joining me on this very realistic journey exploration. Also actually not realistic because there was a narwhal in this video. What? I'm definitely gonna try out more tech biohacky stuff like this, so subscribe to see that, and make sure you ring the bell for notifications, because when I do find something that makes you superhuman, you're gonna wanna hear about it immediately.